Today we're going to do the Bengals. Not too excited about
Start
this one,
your
to be
season
fucking
with
honest with you.
recommended settings. If you wish to change roles or adjust options, use the tiles on the left.
Right, so as usual, we're going to put the Star Arcade. We are going to turn injuries off. Weekly training, scouting on, swap these, and we'll get going with Zach Taylor. Alright, I got 5 years. Oh boy. Okay, so good news is we've got Joe Burrow. And the fact that he's not at least a star develop player is a little bit worrisome. So we're going to go ahead and do that on our own. So here we go. Joe Burrow. Now, we have T. Higgins here who might make some headway. So what we're going to do, since A.J. Green is 31 years old, right? We're going to add him to the trade block. And we're going to feel comfortable with going with Tyler Boyd, John Ross, Auden Tate, and T. Higgins as our receivers. Joe Mixon, Gio Bernard, I feel like has been on this team for way too long. And a horrible O-line, with the exception of Jonah Williams and maybe Billy Price. We're going to suck in a really tough division. We are going to suck. On defense, we absolutely suck. Jesse Bates, Von Bell could be our saving grace here. Willie Jackson, is he 26? Let's see how old this guy is. 26. And Trey Waynes. So, I mean, we're not too horrible. Carl Lawson, DJ Reader. Sam Hubbard, might have to put him where Carlos Dunlap is eventually. So I think what we'll also do is try and put Carlos Dunlap up for a trade. And we'll see what we can get. Because I'm not going to offer any trades. Okay, so we got a trade offer from both guys. So we'll go with Carlos Dunlap first. 30 years old, 82. A second round pick and a 5th from Seattle. A 2.67 or a 2 and a 7. I feel like Seattle would definitely make this type of trade, so just have to get Jamal Adams. I don't know about that, so maybe not. Cleveland, no. Raiders. I feel like the Raiders will probably make this move, so we're gonna sadly go with the Raiders pick, just because it makes the most sense. Realistic rebuild here. So we have that, and A.J. Green. Chicago Bears, Buffalo Bills, Denver Broncos, Houston Texans. They definitely make this trade right now with the the load of picks they have. Maybe Tennessee. Seattle probably wouldn't do it. New Orleans, no. Washington. And A.J. Green to Washington. I feel like Washington would do something like that, so we're going to go and trade him to Washington for a second rounder. So we have a couple of trades. We're going to sim to mid-season, and we'll see how we do. And we got rid of guys that we don't necessarily need. They will make us better, but we don't really need that cap casualty, especially going into a free agency period where we need a lot of pieces. So we need as much draft picks and as many young guys developing as possible with enough cap space to move around a little bit. So Keithan Carter, it's not in my best interest to let this guy go, only because we need some tight ends. We need players. We need depth. We need people to develop. This is the only way to go. So we're gonna keep him, and we're gonna sim. Actually, let's check this. 3-5-1. We're better than Pittsburgh. We are better than Pittsburgh. I'll take it, man. So we take the loss to the Rams. We're in week 10 now. Stop the losing streak. Yeah. So here we go against Baltimore. Can we stop it against Baltimore? We don't. Oh man, these guys hate us. 3-6, not good. All right, there we go. Very important win for the morale. 4-6, we got the last place Steelers that we take a loss from. I can't be too surprised with this team. I cannot be too surprised. So 5-7. We got 3 games behind first place. Oh boy. Oh, big time loss. We got the Pats with Cam Newton. And actually, you know what? Before I do anything here, right? Before I do anything. Who has Andrew Luck? I should have went and got rid of him so fucking fast. Robert Foster, huh? Can we add somebody to give us a little bit of oomph? I don't think we can. Alright, so we'll figure that out with the off season coming up. And we're at 6-9. Hopefully we can take another loss here and get as high of a pick as possible. And we do take a loss, and we go 6-10 on this season, which is probably the outlook here. You know, this is probably the outlook. Pittsburgh probably with a couple more wins than that. Cleveland probably a couple less. But that's probably the outlook of the season. So, I'd love to go check out the players' development just to see how they're doing. So Joe Burrow is the saving grace of this offense now. If we had Andy Dalton, we would not be looking too good. But Tyler Boyd's making some progress. So is John Ross. So is T. Higgins. And so is Auden Tate. We might put John Ross up for auction. You know, we might put him up there. And I'm going to promote T. Higgins just to get that development up. Man, this O-line is bad. But Jonah Williams and Billy Price are making some strides. They're not doing too bad. And on defense, wow, we look terrible. I like Von Bell. I like Jesse Bates. I like Jackson. We do need another corner, but not horribly. We do have Mackenzie Alexander, who I think I'm going to start above Trey Waynes, Carl Lawson, Geno Atkins, DJ Reader, and Sammy Barb. So it's a good move, kind of putting him up a little bit. There's a bug on the screen. Get that little bitch off. And yeah, we're going to keep going. We're going to see what the free agency has for us, because we don't give a fuck about wildcard, division, conference, or the Super Bowl right now. We suck. We suck. We just need to get 8-8. So the Pats beat the Lions in the weirdest possible Super Bowl, I think. Patriots, sans Tom Brady, and a middling Detroit Lions team that probably, for being honest, won't make it to the Super Bowl in a really long time. It's a good team, though. So we got 51 mil for cap space. What can we do? We don't need to bring in Drew Brees. We could bring in Mike Hilton as a third corner, but I don't think that's going to change our team that much. Delaney Walker, Aldrick Rosas, Kendrick Bourne, Zach Pascal. Man, there is not a whole lot of guys. Jesus. We really don't have anybody. I mean, Mike Hilton might be the best guy we can go for, but he's going to be overpaid. He's going to get 9 mil. We're not going to make moves. We're not even going to make a move. Sadly. We're not going to make a single move. But good thing is, we do have some delicious draft picks next year. Whoops. So here we go. We are picking probably right after the Raiders. Or not.
The
10.
Bengals are now on the clock.
Go 6-10. Wow. And get the 10th pick. Alright, can't complain. Cannot complain. We need some players here. Whew. I mean, Doug Cartwright would be a nice addition. He's a good corner. We have Syracuse, Fernando Castillo. I think what I'm going to go and do here is go with Doug Cartwright. I love that zone coverage. He's a big body. If we were gonna go for him, we might as well have gone for a Parrish Worthy, but you know he's not a scheme fit either. So what I think I'm gonna do, right? What I think I'm gonna do. Can I pass up on Samuel Clinton, power rush guy? Well, before we go, let's really just look at our defensive tackles. We have Reeder, we have Atkins, right? So we have Reeder, who's not bad. Carl Lawson is also not bad. It's a run-stop position. And left end is a speed rush position. Power rush. Nah. It's a speed rush. And this is speed rush. So we need speed. We don't need power. We need a draft for speed. So the point I'm trying to make here is we don't really need that defensive tackle. He's not going to fit our scheme. He's great, but I'd like to get some guys who fit our scheme. Realistic. We don't really need a DT. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to trade our pick. I'm going to try to go down. Alright, I'm going to try and trade down for 2 second-round picks this year. Oh, man. 1 this year, 2 next year. Oh, a 3rd next year, too? Ah, man, or I can get 2 in the 2nd round this year. Well, see, this is important. These are important things. These are important decisions to make. So we want to be able to get down to like right around here-ish, right? And assume that everybody below here will be available. So we could go with Deshaun Jarrett if we were to take another second. Shakir Harris would be a wide receiver we could go for. I'm thinking we go for this year's picks because there are a lot of guys here. So we are going to go with Seattle. We're going to go with their offer to give us 2 second rounders.
Well,
We're going to go with them.
Both war rooms are feverishly back on the phones. I think that means a trade is coming.
Now, that's going to mean that we really can't go for anybody in the 1st round, which kind of sucks, but we get an extra pick.
The Bengals are now on the clock.
We get an extra pick here to kind of do what we want to do. Okay, so we can't squander these picks here. Right, we cannot squander these. So we can go with Deshaun Jarrett. He's a scheme fit guy. He'll help our pass rush out. So we're going to go with Deshaun Jarrett.
The Jets are
He's a
now
normal
on the
77.
clock.
He's not great, but he's a scheme fit guy. And he's above a 75, I suppose. And he's in the 2nd round. So what can you really ask for?
The Bengals are now on the clock.
So here we go. With our next pick. We're going to need a couple of linemen. So we are going to go with Imani Tate, hoping that he can be good. And he's not. It's more of the same bullshit. Alright. So we have a couple 3rds as well. Joe Mullen. Robert Brinkley. Tracy Albert. It's not looking particularly good here for us. So we're going to have to just kind of draft for need. Wide receivers. Odds are these guys are probably decent. We got to go for a need and hope we get somebody good.
The Ravens are now on the clock. The Bengals are now on the clock.
Very much like the Cincinnati Bengals to blow their picks. So, not too off of what I think they do. We're going to go with Javier Lewis. 70.
The Bills are now on the
Man,
clock.
better than what we got now.
The Bengals are now on the clock.
Just a couple more guys. Anybody I have absolute faith in? Give us a break. 4th round, 10th pick. Kevin Burnett. All right.
The Jets are now on the clock.
Okay, he's been our best pick so far. Oh, I mean, yeah, I guess
The
not best pick so
Bengals are
far.
now on
I
the
guess
clock.
best pick so far for our O-line. And let's see what else we can do here. Somebody. Wow, great pick right there. Lee Soriano. He'll definitely be above a 70. Oh, he's a hidden
Are
development.
now on the clock.
All right, so I think we did pretty decent now that we're down to, at the lower portion of the draft.
The Bengals are now on the clock.
Pick number 5. These picks aren't too bad deep, so I'm going to keep going for them. A couple more old linemen here. A middle linebacker. Again, we can go with Deshaun Nichols just to maybe see. Hidden
The
dev.
Jets are now on the clock.
All right, so we at least have a couple of guys who can do a little something for us. So I wouldn't say it's a complete failure in the draft. We did kind of miss out in the 1st round, but we do have a 1st round pick next year. While our guys develop, we got the most picks we could out of this year. And let's see who we can get actually starting on this team. So, Lee Soriano. I'd love to get this guy playing. I think he's a right tackle by nature. And he is a right tackle by nature. Kevin Burnett. So we're going to keep Jonah Williams on the left side. I'd like to get Soriano starting at right tackle, so I'm gonna promote him. Burnett. I'm gonna start him at left guard because he's a left tackle. We'll just put him to left guard, play inside. Give him the most we can right now at a 75, 72, 73, 70, and a 69 hidden. It's better than what it was. It's not good by any stretch of the word, but it is better than what we had. So we're going to promote T. Higgins here. We're also going to put Auden Tate up because he's a scheme fit. He's the only scheme fit on this team. We're still looking good on offense. On defense, this was the only guy. That is kind of funny. I thought we had 2 spots. But nope, we do not. Grady Jarrett, he's going to help really push for a spot. Once Carl Lawson wants a contract, we're not going to sign Carl Lawson back. Just because I know he's going to ask for a ton. So we do have Grady Jarrett. Maybe this team can play better. Maybe it won't. But we'll see. We will see. We'll start it off. We'll get this going. We're not going to make any trades. We're not making any trades here. But we are going to check out who is still in the free agency. So Levi Wallace would actually give us a big buff in the backfield for corner. So we're going to sign him for a year. That'll help us out. Let's see. Any more guys I think we could use? Practice squad guys might be the best ones, so. Malik Jefferson, he was decent. Ja'Kai Polite on the practice squad. Ooh. No, we're wasting time. We're just prolonging the inevitable here, folks. We're just prolonging the inevitability of not finishing the playoffs again. We need a couple of years. We need a good free agency period. We need just a couple more pieces. We need that old line to look good. And then maybe we can think about getting to the playoffs. But who knows? Maybe Joe Burrow's carrying this team. He's not. He is definitely not. Some key players to sign here. Definitely our boy Joe Mixon. Definitely to get signed to a nice cushy 6-year deal. We want him around. Carl Lawson, 25. Would it be a mistake not getting this guy? I'm preaching talent here. I'm preaching talent. For 3 years. 9.18. See, it's just a ton. William Jackson's looking for 7.4 for 3 years. What else are we spending our fucking money on, right? Let's give it to him. Alright, so we're going to sign William Jackson. John Ross is young. He's 24 years old. He's not asking for a ton. And he's a decent guy, but I really hate to pay 5.8. We'll let him test the free agency, see just what he's going to get. Levi Wallace is someone we definitely want to resign. This is a resign for us for sure. He'll stay with the remainder. He'll stay the remainder of the year, or of the rebuild. And we'll keep going. So we got the Giants. We take a nice win to 42-21, actually bringing us positive on the season. The Pittsburgh Steelers. It would be a fantastic idea to make a trade with these guys. We lose to them. Of course, we are that team, right? But we do beat the Baltimore Ravens. And Joe Mixon can become... Oh, wait a minute. Lawson. If Lawson can get that superstar development, we'll keep him. Really disappointed with Carl Lawson. Jeepers. It's so hard to do that. So we got the 1-10 Eagles. We're 6-4-1. We're losing games we should be winning here. 6-6-1. Can we get some more wins here? Can we get a couple? God. We're just a middling franchise. And another loss brings us down to a fucking losing record. Man. That looks bad. But we're playing in a really good division. I didn't expect to win here. But it's okay. We got our off season. We're going to see these guys, which ones we want to sign, which ones we don't. We don't need any of these guys. We're going to send them on their way, and we are going to go to the free agency with a ton of money. And if we do end up needing these guys, we'll re-sign them. So 54 million, they'll be at 70. Okay. Richard Sherman would bump us up. Keanu Neal would also really give us an edge. Samson Abukum. Man, he'd be a really big impact. He'd be a huge impact for this team. Samson Abukum. I think we definitely have to go for him. 14 million. God. We have the number on him. We're not going to get him, but we do have the number on him. We could use David Njoku. This is somebody we could definitely use. That'll bump up our offense just a little bit more. Someone better to catch the ball. Second running back, Tariq Cohen. I'd love to get Tariq Cohen. So we're going to put Tariq on the team. Anybody else? Anybody else? I'm looking for stars here. We don't have a kicker, so we have to sign Will Lutz. He's a much better, much better kicker than what we have now. Zach Bond. I don't know why these the development traits aren't for these guys. Like, look, these guys will never succeed. That's the problem. So the next Madden comes out. We gotta suffer through that next Madden. So Tim Williams, speed rush guy. He's 27. It's a little pointless, but yeah, we're not gonna quite go for him. So that's all right. That'll be our free agency period. It's a big bump if we can get Samson Abukum. If not, it's not going to look too great. And it looks like we do get Samson Abukum, we do get Tariq Cohen, and we do get David Njoku. So that's going to help us out. It's going to help us out a ton. So on offense, Soriano is playing well. Williams, well. So our O-line is looking a lot better right now. David Njoku. T. Higgins hit that star. That's great to see. Auden Tate. Our receiving core is good. Our running backs are good. Our quarterback is good. Looks like our offense is getting a lot better. On defense, we did also upgrade here. We have Nichols, who I think I'm going to put above Mr. Bynes. Ibukum is going to stay up there. We might draft middle linebacker, just because this isn't acceptable for next year, since we have such a good team right now. We're going to need an edge rush. We're going to need a guy here, so it leaves us space to draft someone. And we have a pretty good secondary. I like our outlook. I do like our outlook a lot. We added another running back. We do have more cap space. Fifth-year options for some players. Let's see. Billy Price. He's going to look for a big pay increase. He's shown a lot of contract. Might warrant offering a long-term contract. Do you agree? Yeah, I do. We want to keep him around. Yeah, pick up his fifth-year option. So here we go. To the draft we go. With I don't want to say an abundance of picks, but we do have quite a lot of picks.
The Eagles are now on the clock.
Okay. So this is the year I'm going to try and make some big trades. I'm going to try and see what we can do. We have a lot of talent now. We can send some guys out that we don't really particularly find a future for. So what I think we'll do is we're going to check and see our draft board first. Let's see where we pick. So Roosevelt Stevenson would be, you know, the guy we'd probably take. Oops, what did I do? So, like I said, Roosevelt Stevenson's a guy we probably would take. We have 2 second-round picks, a third-round pick, a 7th-round pick. We have a lot to grab here. I'd love to get another first-round pick. I really would love to get another first, just to get that pass rusher. So we're going to try and get the first overall pick here from the Eagles. What can we do? So first we need to see what the Eagles want. Looking for a middle linebacker. Okay, so lucky for us, we have a couple options. Josh Bynes probably wouldn't want to be going to them, but maybe Joe Mullen. So Joe Mullen, weirdly enough, is someone that they're interested in. That would put them over the cap limit. That's a sad... That's a sad situation there. That is a fucking horrible situation. And it looks like we're not going to be able to make our pick. So we know where he's going. He's going in the top 10 for sure.
Bengals are now on the
So we're going to have to go on without that speed rusher. And hope that there's someone late for us to go and snatch up. We can go Leonard Levy. We could go Donnell Campbell for middle linebacker there. Fuck. We have some guys. I mean, do I want to risk going for Everett Brenner? You know what I mean? When I could go for Donnell Campbell. You know, I could go for this defensive tackle. And an edge rush in the second round. There are a couple of guys we could probably risk it for. I'm gonna go safe here. I know middle linebacker is a little harder to judge in this game. I'm gonna go with Donnell Campbell. We need that spot.
The Bears are now on
All
the
right,
clock.
so well worth it. Well worth it. Donnell Campbell, middle linebacker. We have Samson Abukum now. Now we're just gonna need another opposite linebacker.
The Bengals are now on the clock.
But we made a couple tough decisions last year, making some trades. I'd like to go for Willis Edgerton here. Maybe hoping he's got a dev trait. You know. We're running a little thin on pass rush options. Gordon Spencer might. We want to draft best available for O-line, because our O-line is looking decent now. We don't want to waste too many picks. Man. We'll go with Sergio Clifton. You don't know what his combine is, so I'd like to take him. Maybe Simon Curtin. Later in the 6th round, there's nobody. Maybe Jaden Whiteside. In the 7th round, Denard Daniel. And I suppose that's all. So here we go. Our pick. I'm going to go Willis Edgerton here.
The Falcons are now on the clock.
No one great. Swing and a miss. Swing and a miss.
The Bengals are now on the clock.
But we took the dive that we needed to take. Let's see who we really need right here. This right, Emmett Lusk with a great combine. 6'5", 250. He's fast, agile. Well, he's not agile, but he can jump. He's strong. He's a little older, so I'm thinking he has no dev trait. Do I want to risk him not being there? No. I don't want to risk him not being there, so I'm just going to go with Gordon Spencer. Actually, no, he's not the one I was looking at. The one I was looking at was a little further down. So here, I might be able to put him outside if he ends up being good. So we'll go with him as well. Yeah, so we'll shift him to the outside as our third outside linebacker.
The Bengals are now on the clock.
So there we go. Another pick. Another group of guys. I'm going to dive. Well, this is the third round, so it's a little pointless going for him now. Maybe a tight end. All right. We need an edge rush. We need a speed rush guy. We still don't have somebody. It's just a bad situation, boys. It's just a bad situation we're in. We need this. We need a player like this. We just need that position.
The Bears.
Oh boy.
The Bengals are now on the clock.
Simon Curtin. That's the guy we wanted, right? Yeah, dude. How many times does that happen? How many times does that actually happen? Yo, it's an absolute shit show. You know what I mean? But alright, no big deal. Keep moving. Keep moving. Draft as many outside linebackers as possible.
The Bears are now on the clock.
Until we get somebody, we can switch around on that D line. They're all pretty much interchangeable, depending on the size.
The Bengals are now
So
on
just
the clock.
drafting this position. Maybe we'll hinder some form of results.
The Bears are now on the clock.
Yeah, horrible combine. Alright, so that's our draft. We're not going to go further than that. I want to say it was an absolute failure of a draft. I don't think it was particularly great. But we did get a middle linebacker. And that is what is important there. We missed out on our plan for the speed rusher, though, so it's kind of shitty. But at the same time, this O-line's not looking bad. This offense is also not looking too bad. On the defensive side, we'll put Jarrett there. Deshaun Jarrett from last year. He'll be our guy to fill in. Donnell Campbell, Wilson, we got Pratt. We have a lot of guys we could swap in and out. So I don't think we'll be drafting linebacker anytime soon. We do look better than last year. Let's go. Let's see what we got. So sim to mid-season. I'm going to finish this season. And then I'm going to start up part 2. Cancel it right there. And what do we want to do? What do we want to do here? We want picks. We need first rounders. We got to trade high. You know what I'm saying? And Geno Atkins is the guy we got to trade. We need to know who to trade with. Do we trade the Steelers? They're actually playing really well. The Eagles sucked last year. Maybe the Eagles are sucking again this year. They don't want him. The Falcons don't. They can't. The Jacksonville Jaguars actually can't take him. Pick number 17. The Jets, they could actually use him, but puts him over the cap. Wow. No one can afford this guy. The Dolphins. Maybe they'll go for that. Ah, they do like it though. We'll offer them a pick in exchange. We'll give you a 4th rounder as well. 4th rounder and Geno Atkins for, oh God. We'll make some trades. We'll make this work. So Geno Atkins in that for a 1st rounder. It's a lot. It's a lot to trade, but the cap space is off of him now. We can move forward with DJ Reader, replacing him. Joe Burrow wants a contract. We're going to have to give him this contract. So, Joe Burrow, welcome to the team. He wants a higher salary. Jesse Bates. Jesse Bates is someone I want to keep, for damn sure. We'll keep him for the 6 years. T. Higgins at 22 years old. There's no way we're not going to offer him a contract while he's young for $6 million. Von Bell. We'll let him walk for now. Auden Tate, I'd like to keep him as well. He's young. We have a good group of young receivers. Everything aside the salary is great. Sam Hubbard. We went all in for this guy. He wants 825. I can't justify signing a guy like that for that much money. Mackenzie Alexander and Trey Waynes. We got to keep one of them. Mackenzie Alexander signed. CJ Uzomah. No, and no. We're gonna send on over to the playoffs. I know we're not doing good. I know we're not playing well. This is so far looking like an absolute bust of a season. 5 years, it's impossible to do this. With the free agency period we had, no way is this possible. 4-12, and we got a pretty good pick. We just have to hope that Miami had a bad season. Dolphins, we got pick number 14. We have 14-3. That's good enough, I suppose. God, we fucking suck. So sim on over to the offseason. And I suppose I'll see you guys in the next part. I'm just going to stop this video right here.